welcome back to the channel, guys. It's been a long time since we did a driving in the South video, but some of you guys expressed that you like those, so we're gonna bring those back. So today we are actually, this road is not only bumpy, but this car kind of rides like a wagon.
Hey, I will say it rides much better than it did with 4 new tires and 4 new shocks and struts. It could be worse. But it does ride bad.
This is pretty bumpy here. Anyways, today we're going to talk about fall, kind of what that means to us and changing of the seasons and what it's like where we live, and we'd be interested to see what it's like where you live. So here we've had some pretty cool mornings as of late, and that's been really nice. We've enjoyed that. Things are starting to cool down, the garden's starting to die off, all that kind of stuff happening, and really kind of signifies that fall is coming. For me, one way that I know that fall is coming is the acorns in the driveway. Sorry, we passed something and I'm not really sure what that was.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that was an armadillo.
I think it was an armadillo, believe it or not.
They've come up this far north.
That
was gross. That was actually super gross.
Yeah, I've really only seen armadillos in Georgia. But that is not the first time that I have seen one dead on the road here, unfortunately. Anyways, back to fall. For me, when I really feel like fall is coming is when I see the acorns in the driveway. We have some oak trees on the driveway, right beside the driveway. What am I even saying?
They hang out over the driveway.
They hang out over the driveway, and when I see those in the driveway, those little green things, I know that it's time for fall. What about you, Katie?
It's usually in September, and it's already happened for me. But you never know in September, early, mid to late September. Some of these cool mornings, I'll go outside and I get this breeze, and on that kind of warm September breeze, you can smell the leaves, decaying leaves, and that smell, that crisp, falling leaves. That smell is fall to me, and that's usually kind of comes on the wind whenever it does, and that's when I'm like, oh man, you smell that? That's the smell of the leaves falling and breaking down, and that feels like fall to me, and the sound of the crunching leaves. And it seems to be that every year the maple leaves around us are some of the first leaves to turn, and they do have such beautiful colors. So for me, it's kind of the scent of those leaves, the sound, the crunch, that kind of thing, and it's already started here. So. And another thing that makes me think of, I always think about fall as being back to school. I mean, we've been out of high school for 7 years. I've been out of college for 5 years. I know that's some odd math. We did some dual enrollment. That's why that math is odd there. But it always makes me think of school. So traditionally, I think of, as soon as it turns August 1, I think of fall, because you had to go back to school in August. And definitely August is not fall. I mean, really, the fall semester.
Yeah, really, even September's not fall. But usually midway through September, like we've been seeing, is when you start to feel like it's fall. But I think that's interesting. I'm trying to think of some of my favorite fall memories, and then we'll have to hear yours, KP. But yeah. I think one thing that I always think about during fall is when we were growing up. We have a cousin, April, who's almost a year younger to the day exactly than us, and we used to play outside all the time, even in the dead of winter. In the heat of the summer, we were always playing outside, and we had all kinds of different clubhouses. And in the fall was when it was really fun, because it wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold. We would always rake the leaves at Granny's and jump into them. So that's kind of some of my favorite fall memories. And also it means that deer season is here, which is nice. Our dad hunts, and we're usually able to have some fresh meat. And then also it means that Halloween is coming, which ushers in Thanksgiving and then Christmas. So it's just a nice time. What are some of your favorite memories, KP?
Some of my favorite fall memories, this is going to sound so, I don't know, stupid maybe, or just plain, but when the seasons change, different air pressure, different weather comes with it. And so when I think of fall, and I think of living in our house during the season of fall, I think of just this really, really nice, crisp, fresh air. I think of lots of light coming through the windows, and the house just has this really wonderful, fresh smell, because we can open the windows and really enjoy enjoy that cool air. And so for me, it's just this memory of a kid like walking through the house, and there's so much light flooding through the windows, and it smells good. And maybe it was fall break and we were home from school and mom and dad were home for a few days, and just this kind of idea of the family and us all being together in this wonderful time in the house. And I also think of like festivals that are held during the fall, get-togethers, things like that.
Oh yeah.
I think of it's the first time I get to pull my favorite flannel shirt out from like all
the
year.
sweaters.
You know, the sweaters.
And saying festivals makes me think of Fall Festival. It's a huge festival at the folk school. Between 2 days, there's usually 10 or 12,000 people, and unfortunately they can't have it this year because of the coronavirus and everything, which we understand. But that's another thing that makes us think of fall, and that's interesting because weather-wise, we are lucky that where we're at, we really get 4 distinct seasons.
Yep.
And that's one thing I love about living here. It's not like where it's just hot all the time and it never really gets cool, or it's not like where it's super cold all the time. I actually teach someone guitar lessons, and if they're watching this, they'll know who they are, but it's really interesting. They live way out in Oregon, completely on the other side of the United States from us, and I remember when I first was teaching them lessons, it was hot here. It was just starting to get hot, but boy, it was hot enough, and I was sweating, and I remember them saying that it was snowing where they were at, and this was in May, mid to late May, and I was like,
What do you mean it's snowing?
What do you mean it's snowing?
It's already
I'm
like
sweating.
70 degrees
Yeah.
here.
So that's really interesting. I'm glad that we really get the 4 distinct seasons. We get summer, we get winter, but we really do get a fall and a spring, and that's nice. And sometimes it comes and kind of goes at different times. Like
I was gonna say different time frames. Yeah.
Yeah. So like in October at the Fall Festival, I've been to it where it was really cold before, and I've been to it where it was still super hot and you were
Early
sweating.
October. Yeah.
Yeah. So it can really
And
go
it's-
either way.
It is interesting how that is something to point out, that the time frame is always different here. There are places like it's a guarantee in Michigan at a certain time there is going to be snow, and it is every year without fail, and it'll only be late by a few days or a week, But here sometimes I've seen fall come as early as late September. I've seen it wait as late as mid-October. But either way, that kind of buffer zone, you still experience
at least a little, even if
4
it's only
seasons.
even if it's only 2 weeks, you still do really get 4 seasons.
Which I really appreciate. And another thing to mention about fall, anywhere in the mountains, anywhere in the southeast really, but especially the mountains and the east coast as well, some of the east coast, the leaves are incredible.
They're beautiful.
Because we live in a very heavily wooded area. There's an insane amount of leaves that turn at the same time and fall. And so we get a lot of people, we call them leafers, people from out of town that drive through our mountains, and they enjoy looking at the leaves because it is beautiful. And it's not that it's lost on me, but I live here and I do it every year, so I don't see it as the same. And we live in a very wooded area. Our home is in a wooded area, so I see it at home too. But that's a really big part of fall here is the leaves.
And another thing that I noticed the other day, and I guess it's always like this, but I was thinking about this, making this video, so it come to mind, is the goldenrod starts blooming, and some of the joe pye weed also starts blooming, and that don't really happen until the end of September.
But back to our fall memories, we had to run down to the Dollar General for some items. First, actually, I need a big storage tub to put some of my crap in. And, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And we saw lots of fall decorations in there, so that's another thing that makes me feel like fall, when stores start showing you their
Basically,
fall and Halloween decorations.
yes, basically September 1st, it means
Halloween.
Halloween.
And then November 1st is
Christmas.
Essentially. Thanksgiving and Christmas are kind of done together here.
Yeah. That is one thing though, Halloween. We never really celebrated Halloween that much. I mean, we would dress up and go trick-or-treating to just people that we knew, their house, but Mom kind of had a rule that we couldn't be anything like evil or creepy. It might be that we dressed up as like a little angel or a little ladybug.
Cat. I was
or a cat.
bad bone cat one.
Just random stuff like that. Like she didn't want us to be scary stuff.
Well, probably because she knew that and they wouldn't let us watch Halloween stuff because we would get flipped out.
Yeah, we got scared too easy.
Scared and freaked out.
We always watch the Disney Halloween movies, and I still love to watch those. Halloween Town is my favorite, and when I was a teenager, I kind of rediscovered that and loved it, and that was when we still had kind of like regular cable TV or whatever. Now we just have the Roku streaming thing and Netflix and stuff, and I tried to like set a timer or a something so I could watch it, and you know, you were just at the mercy to whenever they showed it, and they only gonna show it like once or twice, and I missed it, and I made a big deal about it, even though I was like probably 15. And so like that year for Christmas, Mom scoured the internet for a DVD of Halloween Town for me, so that was sweet.
You can't even hardly find DVDs anymore. I mean, really.
Of some stuff, yeah. I mean, now it's just all streaming. You know, it's funny, we totally had a TV with a VHS. When we were kids, that's all we had was just VHS.
We love them VHSs.
We love the VHSs. But yeah, I love fall. I mean, it just, one of the best things about it is just that oppressive heat dies off. Where we're at, where we live, kind of in the south, in western North Carolina, towards August, maybe even middle August, end of August, maybe even July, that heat just ramps up, and it's so humid and just sticky and just nasty, and there's just like a couple week period where it's almost unbearable outside, and everything starts to take over, everything growing outside, and it's kind of like a jungle. And then you reach this point to where all of a sudden it starts kind of losing that oppressive heat, starts getting cooler, starts getting nicer, and we always look forward to that. So FedEx. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed us talking about fall, some of our memories, what we love about fall, what we love about just getting all the seasons here, not just one or two. We hope that you'll leave us a comment and let us know what your favorite season is. Let us know what your favorite things are about fall, and we will catch you at the next video.
Okay. See, I'm not done with this armor robot, but it's time to drive down the road. So while we're driving down the road filming this, don't let it dry out and go to waste. You could be cleaning.
I have to clean
here while we drive, because this car's disgusting. Here you go.
Guys, this car's kind of nasty. I'm gonna get the dash.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say one thing. One reason I cleaned is so I could take a picture of this mile marker. Oh, look. Okay.
When's the last time you cleaned your... Good Lord, folks. When is the last time you cleaned your car?
Last year.
Yeah, well, I do believe that.
But I'm living the ultimate, it's like, I wouldn't say bachelorette lifestyle. That's not right. It's not what I mean. What I mean is I don't have anybody that ever rides with me in my car. Ever. Hardly ever. The little neighbor boy rides sometimes, and he don't care. So I'm never cleaning it for people, and I don't really make a mess out of it. It just gets dusty. It was the tax on the vehicle here, and like my vehicle registration, like not the actual registration, but time to change tag, whatever. And it said that the bank appraised this thing at $2,000. So it's very valuable. Very, very valuable. It's okay. I had my hands off the wheel there for a minute to buckle, but that's okay. Come on. This thing drives horrible. It's okay, Joe. Still love you.
You ready now?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh.
Are you expecting me to say something? Because I can't look at the camera, son.
No,
I'm driving.
I got this.
Okay. Look out, everybody. I'm going in reverse.
Here she comes in reverse.
Lord, I hope Mama sees me. Hurry it up.
I don't even see Mamo.
Oh, she was back there in her car. And he's on foot. Okay.
I see him, but
The bad thing is this thing is so old. The light bulb, the sensor went out for my gauge lights for drive. So all the other things have a light. Like reverse is lit up, so you should know that you're in reverse. But in case you didn't, for low, for second gear, for this, for that, but not drive, you just have to know down here that you're in drive, because it ain't gonna show you up here. That's a recent happening with this car.